Signs that you have social significance. Hi guys, welcome back to Clare's Kingdom, where we talk facts, walk fierce, and remind the world that well-behaved women rarely make history.
You wake up, post up, run around in it, flossing on it. This diamond, my diamond, this rock, my rock. I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
So today we are talking about the signs that you are a socialite, that you have social significance, that you light up the room, you change the temperature of the room, you have presence, whether that's a warm presence, intimidating presence, or all of the above. Okay, so the first sign is you're always being watched, and this is especially potent when you may not necessarily be trying to seek attention, or you're trying to draw attention, especially in like just casual settings. You can walk in a room in full workout gear, you can be wearing a cap, you can be wearing sunglasses, or even just be dressed to the nines. Like, you can be fully dressed, fully intentionally clothed, and people will always stare at you from afar, up close. People may even come up to you and compliment you, but just know you walk into a room and it seems like everyone literally is just watching you a lot of the time without saying a word. And you may be thinking, like, why is everyone staring? Like, is there something on me? Did I do something? But in reality, you most likely have that natural socialite aura, essence, especially when you may be in like a conference environment, business environment, or just a professional corporate environment, and you're warm and you're able to work the room, as they say. You're going to be seen as someone who is socially significant, especially when you have that self-contained, exclusive energy about yourself. You're not just meshing with anyone, or you're not just walking in rooms with people, especially when you're just by yourself walking into places. You're going to be seen as someone who has social significance. Next is you intimidate or shake up the authority in the room. Once again, I've experienced this in many levels with different types of people, men, women, especially in authority. When, let's say, they're the leader of the room, they're the teacher, the professor, the pastor, they're always going to have this kind of tension with you. It may not always be negative, but you can just tell they may feel a bit more uneasy, or maybe they may find it hard to relate to you, especially if you're on the younger side. They may be avoidant, they may be even negging, perhaps speaking to someone next to you but not exactly acknowledging you. Especially if they are insecure, you're going to see them have very guarded body language, or maybe more hesitant around you than they are with the general public or the general group of people in that room. Which leads to my next point. You know you have social significance when you're being negged or ignored. And I'm not talking about you did something weird, or you're doing something, out of line and people are ignoring you. I'm talking about you simply just walk in a room, you're being yourself. You may even have open body language, but people may be turned away, or let's say they even speak to you, but then immediately turn away, or they ignore you, especially if like you're in a group. Like, I've been in this, or I've been in situations where it's like, I'll literally be sharing an idea and people will literally ignore me. And then the person next to me or someone else will say the exact same idea verbatim, and everyone's like, yes, that's amazing. And it's like, I literally just said that. And this is definitely prominent when you're in a lower vibrational or a lower frequency environment. If that room doesn't exactly, align with where you are, that is more prone to happen. People will always try to humble you, try to get you, peg you, put you down as peg, especially when you carry yourself with confidence and charisma. When you look good, you smell good, you respect yourself, and that is shown through your body language, through the way you walk in a room. Next is belittling. Now, this definitely falls under the whole negging and being ignored thing, but belittling is definitely a huge indicator, especially, like I said, when you're in rooms with other authority figures. And I even have a story. When I was in university, right, we used to do these quizzes when it came to certain modules, and there was first, second, third place, and whenever someone was first, the lecturer would literally sing their praises. And I knew, like, this was a male lecturer, professor, and I could tell he had an issue with me, which I didn't really understand, but it was just something that I've just at that point was very used to, especially from male figures in authority. And he would literally cheer on everybody. And then there was a day where I won first place, and he was like, "Oh, Claire." He basically was like, "Oh," and that was it. And I remember just smiling to myself, like, okay, yeah, you're one of those ones. They will literally try to belittle you. They won't show you the same praise or admiration as they do as others, at least not openly. It's like they're constantly trying to make you feel small, like you don't matter. And that paradoxically actually highlights that no, you actually have social significance, because if you were just like everyone else in the room, he would have just, or they would have just treated you the same, but they didn't. Okay, my last point is you're going to notice people, especially men, who may be attracted to you, whether that's older men, men in power, or just people in general, may be more formal or more robotic when it comes to you, especially when they're intimidated or attracted to you. So I use examples of people in authority like a professor, a mentor, someone who's supposed to be a neutral person in the room, someone who may be a manager or a team leader. Again, especially when it's the opposite sex, they may become extra formal, not wanting to give off the wrong impression or not wanting to seem overbearing, or sometimes may avoid becoming too familiar, or people may think twice before they try to act too casual with you or too familiar with you, especially, as I said, when you carry yourself with a sense of exclusivity, or like you're important, or like you belong somewhere, or like you belong in every room that you walk into. When you have your head up high, you have charisma, you have a bright smile, you have a big presence, big aura, people are going to most likely, especially when they're not sure how you actually are, or if they're not familiar with you, are going to be extra formal, extra robotic. And this can also be a sign of like respect, because they don't want to step on your toes or again get too familiar. So yeah, that was just a quick one. If you guys notice yourself or resonate with any of these signs, you probably have social significance. And of course, being significant in any way starts with yourself. And when you're a woman, when you're a person who intentionally invests in herself, you invest in your education, invest in your looks, you work on yourself, keeping up with your health, keeping up with work, whatever the case may be, naturally this will ooze outwardly, especially when you're disciplined in multiple areas of your life. This will make you someone that naturally stands out, who naturally walks in with their head held high, who naturally becomes someone that the room gravitates towards, which makes you a natural socialite, because you're not trying to strategically, climb the ladder of power or trying to climb your way up to the top of society, but your everyday habits, your everyday beliefs, routines, the things you read and consume and embody naturally make you the woman that will belong in these high places, in these high rooms. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I woke up like this, we flawless. Ladies, tell them I woke up like this. I woke up like this, we flawless. Ladies,